We have been recognized as the #1 life sciences supercluster in the world. We certainly have more construction happening around life sciences and biotech facilities than anywhere else in the world. And our unemployment rate continues to come down, well ahead of other states recovering from this recession, and the life sciences have been central to that.
It is an industry where critical mass helps, and a single isolated company in the middle of not surrounded by other like companies is much harder to make successful. It's harder to attract employees, it's harder to attract capital, it's harder to attract the attention that you need as a biotech company.
The students who come out of academic centers are tremendously prepared as they enter into biotechnology, and they grow through their academic career just very much steeped in this cluster that we have that brings together all these different forces to drive innovation, to drive research, and that's a pretty attractive capability that Massachusetts can offer that many other states and many other places around the world can't.
Having what you call trifecta of academic institutions, hospitals, biopharma, biotech, places that do clinical trials, etc., all these things help us greatly in what we need to do. The fact that we can actually walk right outside our door and be in this area where you can talk to this person 1 minute and another person the next is just that much more compelling to be in Massachusetts.
The higher the probability of people meeting informally, having these conversations and coming up with these great new ideas that are going to be the next breakthrough going forward. So that density provides that opportunity for meeting, and this can happen in Boston, can happen in Worcester, but it's all a result of this outstanding science cluster across Massachusetts.
Like many companies in Mass Bio, we were founded by science that came out of MIT. And that's really, and a venture capitalist, and a couple of scientists and a venture capitalist got together around some new technology. That's not an unusual story in the Boston supercluster.
Everybody's chasing innovation, and certainly when you're next to some of the world's leading academic institutions, you're going to find innovative people. I think the converse is also true. When you have a center like this with that unique mix, you attract innovative people.
Part of the challenge that exists in any of the opportunities that every neighborhood is part of another neighborhood. And it allows us to have a high degree of sensitivity of the needs of our neighbors, but it also means we can drive around the corner and find somebody who's smarter than someone we ever imagined who can help us solve a problem.
The partners in the venture capital firms here who make significant investments in life sciences really like to stay in tune with the data that's coming out so that when it's ready to be moved from an academic setting and taken forward, they're already aware of it.
I love doing business in Massachusetts because it's great to sit around the room with the smartest people in the world.
We bring together partners in industry and academia with the government to try to solve the problems to get industry to where it needs to get to.
When we had a choice to grow either in Massachusetts or somewhere else, what we found is that Massachusetts has everything that a growing company needs, especially in the biopharmaceutical area.
I'm sure we're here to make successful business. We're actually one of the key catalysts for job growth in the state. But when you add the fact that we're actually every single day changing people's lives, it gives us a certain amount of pride and energy into what we do.
You can see it from the governor himself permeate throughout all the agencies that he leads in the state and the legislature itself, that his three legs to his stool, education, innovation, and infrastructure, drive the agenda.
Providing incentives to mature companies, investing in the infrastructure that's here in Massachusetts to support the work of academicians and industry, that we're thinking about the next generation of talent, really creates an environment where the stakeholders individually have all the elements that they need, but also we're working very hard to promote collaborations and partnerships in novel ways.
I'm in Massachusetts because I've spent my entire career trying to translate science into new medical breakthroughs, and this is the place to do that.
Vertex sees the brain power that we have in the city, the availability of a workforce. That's so important to these companies. They have available workforce. With the colleges and universities we have, that continues to renew that brain power. That's why Boston is the best place to be.
We have a collaborative gene, if you will, the ability for colleagues from across the Commonwealth to come together to be sure that we promote and deal with science at its most basic levels, and then to translate that into important discoveries that will help patients into the future.
Massachusetts is the best place in the world for innovation, and that's what makes Massachusetts the best place in the world for biotechnology companies, for pharmaceutical companies, and for any company that is looking to innovate and bring solutions to the patient population.